You might have great content, but very little engagement. Engagement's critical when you're doing live streaming. It's all fun.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, it's not that I never want to do that again.
No.
It's like riding a roller coaster constantly for like 7 hours.
Yeah.
It was like the best thing ever.
That was really the catapult for our following on YouTube.
And I would say to anybody who's doing any form of live streaming or any kind of content generation, there is literally only one stop, and that is the YouTube platform. I mean, I'm not just saying that. It is true, isn't it? Everything is just so user-friendly.
Right.
Hi, I'm Hannah, known on YouTube as Fabulous Hannah.
And I'm Simi, also known on YouTube as Tamago247 and welcome to Making It, a podcast for creators by creators, where we discuss all the different ways you can level up your content, grow your channel, and make it on YouTube.
We're both YouTube creators ourselves, and on this show we talk with other creators about their journey to success and what they've learned along the way. In this episode, we're talking to Jerry and Gilly from Big Jet TV, whose thrilling live streams, filming and commentating on jet planes has gained them a global audience of like-minded aviation fans and a community of memberships here on YouTube.
So we're going to start off by taking a look at the first video on your channel. So I hope you're not too embarrassed. Let's give it a look. All right, awesome. Wait, so Jerry, if I understand correctly, this was you filming from your phone. Could you tell us a bit more about this specific situation?
This was very early days with Big Jet. As you can see there, it says Big Jet Productions before I turned it into TV.
Right.
Just keeping ahead of the times.
Yeah.
Big Jet Productions. This was our first foray into airside productions, which was something that we really wanted to do, but because of the difficulties with getting airside, we very quickly decided to stay on the other side of the fence where it's a lot easier, it was. We had already been live streaming up for some time before that, but we've had obviously been on other platforms, and this was quite some time before YouTube, actually. So we had a lot of hills to climb, and many rivers to cross.
Obviously, you're a complete natural at it. But I'm interested to hear, because you prioritise your live unscripted content, do you face any challenges rather than, say, edited videos? Are there any challenges that come with that live content?
Well, obviously, edited videos are a lot easier, purely on the basis that you can do what you need to do. You've got freedom of moving stuff around, adding layers, and so on and so forth. But with live streaming, in terms of your content, along with your voice, that's what's kind of critical in terms of delivering it to your audience and becoming one with your audience.
Yeah.
A lot of people will stand there and they'll just film.
Yeah.
And not make any comments or anything like that. But for me, fortunately, I came from a background which was motocross, motor racing, extreme sports. So it's all that kind of thing, And I took aviation. I wanted to make it cool.
Yeah.
And by reacting with the audience, reading their comments immediately, created that bond with the audience. So for me, it wasn't challenging in any way because I naturally speak.
Right.
I don't have a problem with speaking to people. Some people may do. So it's always down to the individual a lot. You might have great content, but very little engagement. Engagement's critical when you're doing live streaming.
Yeah, I can relate to that a lot, actually, because when I first started off live streaming, it was a bit of a hurdle to get over the idea of, wait a minute, I need to be speaking while I'm doing this. I can get so focused in on the game I'm playing, for example, that I forget that there's actually people watching, and engaging with them is very important to do. And so it seems that you had the knack of it right from the start. And I guess it helps because you are so passionate about aviation. It comes naturally that you're going to be speaking a lot and really making it more of a two-way conversation between you and your audience. And something that happens with that two-way conversation is, especially as your audience grows, it can get a little bit out of hand. So, Gilly, I'd like to ask, what is your approach to moderation? Because if I understand correctly, you actually are the person kind of behind the scenes, making sure that everything's going smoothly, not only for Jerry, but also for the viewers.
Yeah. We have simple rules, basically to keep the chat flowing, because people want to talk to Jerry, people want to give him information, people want to ask him questions. So we have very simple rules that we ask everybody just to follow, which means the chat can flow pretty smoothly, because sometimes it can get very fast, so that they can then talk with Jerry. And we're just really lucky that our community is absolutely fabulous, that it is, like one start was in place, just like we have keep it on topic, and it flows pretty easily.
Right.
I moderate it mostly myself. We have some moderators that help out behind the scenes. They don't get involved with the conversation, so that it actually, again, keeps the flow really all about everybody that's on chat is talking to Jerry, or even like members and viewers, subscribers, educating each other. It's really good. But the moderation is really important to keep that flow going so that everybody's enjoying themselves.
And it's critical.
Yeah.
You need to be very, very careful about your moderators. From the minute you start, you need to be very careful on who you choose to be your moderator. I'm very lucky I've got Gilly, I have to say. I wouldn't sell her for $1 million.
Making
quid
her
tomorrow.
blush.
Do you know what I mean? She's not getting a transfer anyway. We were very fortunate because all of our moderators, I say all of them, all 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, they've been with us from the beginning.
Yeah, they were.
They're
Right
loyal.
from the
The
beginning.
trust is
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I can talk to them really openly, and we
And they
just all
don't-
got to know each other.
Yeah, and they don't get involved, like Gilly said. They don't get involved in the chat.
Right, so they're
You know,
happy to be behind the scenes, just helping out.
Yeah,
Right.
They might make a little comment every now and then, or
Like a
just,
ninja.
just to show that they're there or something like that.
Yeah.
But in general, because otherwise, the next thing you don't want, and this is what Gilly has to avoid quite a lot, is you don't want people, asking Gilly questions. And all that kind of
When
stuff.
you want to keep it focused
Yeah,
on
we're
the
trying to
jets
keep everything
and
focused on
like
this
that.
because
Yeah.
when I started with this, in those early days, you'll notice if you watch my videos from day one, literally, the commentary was minimal because I was sort of like learning the ropes and everything. But it soon became very apparent that I needed to continually entertain my audience. So it was multitasking between, the video and the comments. And then, of course, now it's a completely different thing, with the storm where we had 268,000 people watching live.
A lot to manage.
Yeah.
I've got news crews down below the van shouting up at me, can you do this? I've got phone calls. Gilly's saying, like, I've got CNN on the phone. And, all that BBC want to come in and they're trying to
bedlam.
get across the fence and all that. And I've still got 260,000 people I've got to talk to. Whilst all this wind's blowing me around the van and I'm trying to film these planes come in. But it's all fun.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. It's not like I never want to do that again.
No.
It's like, it's like riding a roller coaster constantly for like 7 hours. It was like the best thing ever.
It must be
But-
such an adrenaline
Therapy
boost.
but you need to, you do need a bit of therapy afterwards.
Yeah.
But really, the whole thing is, in terms of your moderation, as your original question went across, start it on your own. Just
And build
become
up
one
over
with
time.
your audience, and if it grows, then maybe somebody who was there right at the beginning would maybe
Join on. That's
be one
actually
of
been
your
my experience.
be one of your moderators.
Yeah, I actually, when I first started streaming, I had the very few viewers, less than 10 people who were watching, but they were very enthusiastic, and
Yes.
I could see that they understood what I was trying to do. And so I spoke to them. I was like, would you be interested in actually helping moderate? And those are still my moderators today, even 5 years later after
Yes.
I started streaming. So
Yeah.
I totally
Yeah.
relate to that. Something I am curious, because our setups are quite different. I'm at home. I can have my chat on a monitor while I'm playing the game, and I can have all the streaming stuff like set up on another monitor. You are outside as jets are landing. It's a very chaotic environment, as you described, and you're trying to keep track of the chat. How do you watch planes and look at the chat at the same time?
Again, that's something that over time I've moulded into. First of all, I love it. If you're going to do any kind of live streaming or anything that involves a product or a subject matter, do your research as best you can. You don't have to know everything about it, off the fly is always better as far as I'm concerned, but be passionate.
Right.
And and if you're passionate about it, you can stand on top of a roof filming jets, not just landing, taking off, coming hurtling over the top of you and banking that beautiful. I mean, sometimes it's a bit like artwork for me, because I catch that shot of the jet sort of, banking, and you just get everything on it, the wings flexing and all that sort of engineering going on. It's just so if you're passionate about it, there's no limitation to what you can do and how long you can go on for. If you're passionate and you keep going on about it, people will watch.
When it comes to someone that's like starting a channel, would you say it's actually viable for them to start purely with live streaming? Because something that's often recommended is that if you're starting off, you start off with a format, maybe just regular long form videos or even shorts to get your name out there, because no one wants to stream and have that 0 viewers count. So how would you recommend someone get into it?
That's
literally
interesting.
starting from 0.
Yeah, that's interesting, because our journey to YouTube was 3 years from the get-go. Somewhere around
Closer
about
to 2.
Around about 2 years, yeah. So we went through different platforms, different scenarios with different memberships setups. Procuring stuff ourselves. Our original merchandise was all we procured stuff, and it was a nightmare, an absolute nightmare in terms of payments and all that kind of stuff. So we went through all these different scenarios and platforms, and I wanted, having a business background and ramping businesses up with my media background as well, I kind of had a vision of where I wanted to go. But the one stumbling block for us at that point was quality of the video, and also the membership. The membership was the big thing. We were desperate to find a platform that had a trouble-free procurement system for membership.
Sign up process and viewing process, and
then you came along,
and then YouTube just had a membership.
well, the thing was that the thing was that we had been on YouTube for a short period of time.
Yeah.
In all honesty, when I started, because I knew nothing about YouTube, when I started, it was on other platforms, and Gilly kept saying, like, you want to try YouTube? I'm
and he was like, nah,
because I thought that YouTube was all about video uploads, which it kind of was at that stage, wasn't it? So, but when that happened, when it came up about a channel membership
being available,
it was like, okay, tell me more. And then it was like, procured like at the end of every month, they take X amount, no problem at all. I'd rather have a percentage of our income go to somebody to pay for procurement rather than having to do
for a system that's
10,000 credit
simple.
cards every
it
month.
Works, it's reliable.
So
it's in everybody's home.
It
was just the ideal
setup.
Setup. It was the ideal setup that we were looking for.
Right. What did you see in YouTube prior to memberships? Because Jerry says you were telling him about YouTube beforehand.
Yeah.
What did you see before memberships became the big thing?
Well, the
what
ability
did you like
to
about
stream
it?
in 1080p was a big deal, because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, well, you're going to be streaming in 1080p," and we were like, "Well, we'd love to. We've got the ability to, but the platforms we're using didn't offer that." So that was one of the big ones for me. That, because like technology is my thing. I wanted to give them the best, and I'd been kind of like pushing for YouTube for quite a while, but when membership came out, that was the deal breaker, because for us, Jerry travels, it needs funding. That's what people pay for. So that was a really important element for us that we required. And that first year or two, YouTube didn't offer that. But then all of a sudden, I went onto Studio, and there it was. And I was like, oh,
it's time.
This is it. I can't wait to tell
him.
And
we lit the blue torch.
Straight away.
Bang, it went up like a rocket. It was like, here we go. Here we go. Absolutely fantastic.
No
it
hesitation.
wasn't just us that was excited either, was it? I know a lot of our viewers were really excited.
Because we've been pulling them from one membership platform to another membership platform to another. So you need to come from there, go to there, sign up on this, do that. They were like, and we would all trying all different sort of like,
We're really lucky that they stuck with us.
They
were patient and everything.
So when we came to channel membership, we immediately had a big influx of members who were like...
that were waiting. It's like they're home at last.
And we obviously tried and tested created different different platforms, different levels. We didn't want too many of them. We didn't want to confuse people. We just want to. It's like walking in a shop and seeing. You don't want 20 different types of coffees in there. You want that one, or that one. And they're priced accordingly. Whatever. Blah blah blah.
Pretty sure when we first started, we only had the one membership tier.
Yeah, could you?
We
tell
called
us
it
more about
Elite at that time.
that? Okay.
Elite membership.
Elite
That's
membership.
funny. I called my first membership tier Tamago Elite. I don't know what
yeah.
it is about that word,
Yeah.
but
So
we
how
kind
did
of
you,
went.
We did.
Yeah.
We started with Elite membership, and that's what we
Yeah.
called it.
So how did you come up with the other tiers and the pricing as well? How do you come up with that?
Just over time, when we'd been streaming on YouTube with membership for around about a year, we had a show that was a bonus show. It was off, it wasn't a scheduled show.
Right.
It was an A346 coming into Heathrow.
Yeah.
It was like the last time it was going to visit or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we did the show, but because it was an impromptu one, it was back then we used to do a free view segment, and then the rest of the show was for members.
Very confusing.
Hey, right.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
And this show, because it was a special show, we did it full free view. And
Right.
I'm an analytics nerd, I'm like, this has been really popular.
Yeah.
And I just said to Jerry, we're doing really well with the memberships. What do you think about doing our UK-based shows full free view? And people pay for the overseas shows. And I'm like, maybe we could have they do a membership level for 99 cents. We could have, you pay 99 to chat and interact with you,
Right.
He was like, yeah, go for it. And it just, that was really the catapult for our following on YouTube.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
I'm a businessman, so I like to see different options available. And,
Right.
and Gilly, in her tech side of things, the great thing is our communication. We obviously run things past our audience as well.
Yeah.
Really important to sort of say to the members, hey, how do you feel about this? We're kind of stuck on this idea. How do you feel about if we go from the 99p, we go to premium, first class, and then the super class was literally a class that we started because people wanted to pay more money.
Right.
Not because we thought we can have an upper class one, because the super class get exactly the same as first class.
Yeah.
Right.
They just wanted to pay more money.
Yeah, we get people asking, how do we donate to
Yeah.
you? And we were
Right.
like, we don't want your donation.
No, we
Yeah.
don't have super chat or
But
anything
you
like
give us
that.
so much pleasure,
Yeah.
okay, well,
I
what
think
do
that's
we
a really
think?
surprising thing, how much your audience wants to get involved. I've done a similar thing
Yeah.
on my channel where my lowest tier is what gets you everything. But I've made other higher tiers simply if you would like
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
contribute at a higher level. And I do have people that sign up, and I'm like, oh, wow, it's so
Yeah.
generous of you. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
much.
the thing is, £1.99, £1.99 a month, and they get to travel overseas with me. They get all the benefits with hotel discounts and stuff like that we do. Again, really critical is that they, all the members are in green, so I
Right.
can easily
Yeah.
pick them out because we
In
have
chat.
subscriber
Yeah.
chat on,
Right.
so that subscribers can feel, because every
Included.
now and then I might see a subscriber, he's greyed out, and I'm like, that's a really good question, so I might just mention his name because I'm always miles behind on the chat.
Right.
Gilly's right up to date because I'm filming. Obviously, I've got the chat here, but the chat for me, I can't. It doesn't go at natural speed because if
No.
it went at natural speed, it would just be going like a ticker parade.
Yeah.
So for me, it's I just flick through stuff. Sometimes I'll flick to the bottom if I can, but
Right.
I don't want to miss anyone out.
No.
I feel
don't
the
want
same
people
way.
feeling like, hey, why didn't you
Exactly.
answer my question?
Yeah.
So you have to be
try.
really quick at visualizing
Iron them out.
and seeing key words in your mind,
Yeah, definitely.
and also relative questions as well.
Yeah.
Keep everything as much as you can on subject. It's easy for me because literally all I have to do is say something else and read something else. They've all forgotten about that. It's
Right.
they start talking about what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because my engagement with them is whatever you want to say, just say it, and we'll engage with you on it.
Yeah, definitely. So you're saying that for your members, you actually see their comments more. Do you think that encourages people to become a member on your channel?
100%.
They know that you're going to read it.
Yeah.
That's one of their main reasons.
Yeah.
You know, we get, you know, I see comments come up, you know, hey, been watching for 3 months, had to come along, been watching as a subscriber, you know, and want to have a chat with you, you know, and we see that regularly, you know.
Right.
I try and encourage people, you know, hey, listen, if you're a new member, don't feel shy, don't feel intimidated. It's a bit like walking into a pub, isn't it? You know, the geezer's playing the piano and everyone stops. Who's this then? You know, some new bloke. You know, don't feel that way. It's not. It's nothing like that. It's more a case of sort of like I've just come in. Can I just a quick word with Jerry? You know, and I will read it out. Gilly also helps me out. Like, I've got a new member
we're
here.
in communication constantly on Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'm a speed reader. If I see something that's really important or interesting,
pick it up.
I'll say Jerry and I'll read it to him.
Make sure you keep that rhythm going nicely without people coming in and upsetting the apple cart, so to speak. You know?
I almost feel like live streaming feels a bit like playing an instrument or driving a car where you have to manage these different modes at once.
I said to Jerry last week when we were talking, it's like being in a different, like elevate to a different mental state or a different level of consciousness.
You just have to be aware of so many things.
It's so hectic.
Yeah.
You know, like...
but it's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
do is
Adrenaline
keep it
rush.
fun.
And it's
Yeah.
Would you say that's something that comes over time? You kind of learn how to manage all the different aspects of live streaming. 'Cause I know you mentioned
as your channel grows,
didn't do as much commentary at the beginning, but
absolutely,
now,
but now it's like constant. I can't stop. You won't stop me. You know, I will go. But obviously, you know, when the aircraft are landing, and the key element is to hear the noise of the engines as it's going past you and taking off, or coming in when the reversers open up and there's all this loud noise and
you want to make
crazy
sure you
stuff.
capture that.
I don't. Yeah, but I don't talk during that. You know, I'll just shut my mouth as soon as he's sort of like 100 feet off the deck. Unless, of course, it's a windy landing where it's like, hold on a minute, you know, because you know you're just naturally doing that, aren't you? You know,
I guess you've really found the balance of what people want to see, but they've also come for your personality too. So you've got to find a balance between the two, showing them the planes, but showing them your personality as well.
Right.
It sounds like you've built a real community.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable community. We're so lucky, and you know, we're blessed. Honestly,
consider ourselves a family.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, with your viewers as well.
And everyone who comes in is immediately welcomed into that family.
That's
you know, we've got gifting. When we had
membership gifting enabled.
That was something that we turned on and we've never turned it off.
Right.
Because
I understand,
you know, you'll get somebody gifting 8 membership, you know, or 5 memberships or 20 memberships, you know.
Yeah, and one thing that's nice about that is it's not just them gifting you, but they're gifting the community as well.
That's what makes us feel better.
And they're actually gifting content. You know, they get to come overseas with us, like next month when we go to Australia.
That's very cool.
Because all our gifted members are first class members.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyone who's gifted this month is going to come to San Francisco with me at the end of February. You know,
no, absolutely.
Or at the right point. You know, next week we're in Europe with all our members, and then San Francisco first class and superclass members, and then a week later the premium members who only pay $1.99, they still get to watch it. But you get a lot of premium members who will upgrade to first class
because they
just
want
to come to San Francisco. You know, it's only £3.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, you know,
not
another 20 quid just
that one.
You know, it's we've made it affordable, fair, and realistic, you know, in terms of people's budgets.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately for us, we've never had to increase it or decrease it or anything like that
because it
works perfectly with the community.
That's great.
But
I just want to say one thing I really like about gifted memberships is it gives people an opportunity who maybe don't have access to get a membership right now to get one. Because for my viewers range from around 13 up to, you know, the 20s, right? And so people in their 20s, they can get membership. But I imagine if you're 14 years old, you don't really have access to something like that.
No,
it gives you a chance.
Mum and dad to do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, I mean, we've got members. We've got members. They're 5 years old or whatever. You know, I don't want to watch Peppa Pig. No, I don't want to go to Grandma's on Sunday. I want to watch Jerry. He's on the telly. You know,
right?
Or we've got like 101-year-old ex-BOAC flight attendant, you know, or captain or whatever who loves watching it for the
nostalgia.
You got it. Yeah, for the nostalgia. Thank you.
So obviously, your community is full, like you say, of all different age ranges. But how do you keep everyone wanting to come back for more? How do you keep them engaged like that with every live stream?
Well, you never know what's going to happen.
No.
To start with, always when you're going out there, put a show alert out there or some kind of alert that you're going to be live.
Right, I
the
like
day
to do that as
before.
well.
You know, we even load it up so that people can come in and chat the night before.
Right.
So that the Americans are already aware of it, and you know, and people around the world are already aware that we're going to be live and where we're going to be and what we're going to be doing. So you build up that excitement before you even go live, you know. But again, it's engaging with your audience, making sure that they're totally aware. You know, like if you're going down the pub and you didn't tell John that you're going down the pub, it's like, well, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
sorry, mate, I left you off. So we've got like the equivalent of like a WhatsApp group because our reach is enormous, but it's really important that we
People
go out
know
to
what's
our audience, you know, and the app as well.
I really like scheduling streams as well. Like you see the excitement of the people in the chat. Sometimes when I know exactly what I'm streaming that week, I can schedule a stream like 5 days in advance, and I'll see people counting down 4 days left, 3 days left. And it's like, wow, you're really looking forward to this. And it gets you pumped even before you click go live, doesn't it?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. The live stream, it's always fun. You always end it feeling better, you know. So no matter what's going on in life, no matter what's going on in the world, it's that twice a week, something to look forward to. That's, you know, like what makes you come back.
Definitely. Doesn't feel like a job.
No,
it doesn't. I mean, I like we said, I travel overseas a lot, you know, and you kind of like Anchorage is really tricky because it's so far over that way, you know, in terms of time. Schedules,
right?
You know, with the delays and everything. So I'm live at 8 in the morning, and it's already sort of like 4 o'clock in the afternoon or midday.
Like 8 hours.
PM in
5
the
o'clock.
UK.
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
9 hours
so,
differences.
So you know, we got to cram a lot in, and I've got no time to try and adjust to the time zone. You know, I just have to get on with it. So, but the excitement of like, I want to show everyone. And, you know, I'm sitting there having breakfast, and I can see the airport, and I can see all these jumbos landing. I'm like, I want to get out there. You know, so you know, breakfast, coffee, straight down the airport, rig everything up because it's like I want to show everybody what I'm seeing. I don't want them to miss anything.
It's we call it aviation heaven, Anchorage. Because we love the 747 and aviation.
We're always on the hunt for the 747.
And the amount of time we've got a show time scheduled, it's all ready, and then Jerry will be like, "Oh, there's a DC-6. How long before you can go live? Can you go live?" I'm like, "Okay." You know, like.
And we're very fortunate with the equipment to have that capability.
You know.
Yeah,
and it sounds like you've perfected the equipment you use now as well. But it didn't start out there, did it? You kind of evolved your technology throughout the time. So can you tell us a little bit about that, about where it started? Because if someone wants to start live streaming, they might not have all this equipment yet. So where did you start?
I mean, mine was literally with an iPhone. Up against the fence at Heathrow. Wasn't very long before the police came along and said, you can't stand there, do that, blah, blah, blah. But I always remember when I started streaming, of course, this wasn't on YouTube, this was on another platform. I immediately saw people starting to, you know,
I
saw
people even interested.
It's like because I was in a pretty gnarly place, man. You know, like right up at the turn on point. So you just see this great big jet coming towards you, all the heat haze and the noise and all that kind of thing. And I'm excited because I'm like, oh my God, look at this, you know. And all the people are getting excited. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And I was bitten right there because I was interacting immediately with the people who were watching.
Yeah.
You know, even though we were only like 10.
Yeah.
You know, there were 10 people watching, and then it just got more and more and more and more. Yeah. It evolved very, very quickly in terms of like going from a camera, because obviously your arms ache for, you know, after 10 minutes, you know, you've got to put your arms down, you know. So then obviously a tripod, and then a microphone, and then little bits piece adding on piece. The car with the planks of wood on the top of the car, getting myself a little bit higher, just because I wanted to deliver
the best experience
quality.
Possible.
Yeah.
In audio, because aviation, it's absolutely imperative that you have good audio, because you want people to crank that up in their living room, you know, and really piss the neighbours off. It's like, what the hell's going on next door, you know? But that evolved, and you know, we eventually we got hold of a bond unit.
An
encoder, sorry, which was just a bit of a sort of like a luck, you know,
like
one of those moments.
Level,
entry level encoder, and that's how we ended up doing that piece airside at
Right.
Heathrow. And then it just evolved and evolved and evolved because I just wanted the best. And at that point in time, I had to make a decision. You know, do I stop doing what I'm doing in terms of my business that I was running, which was very successful, you know, and go full time into this? And I had to make that. I had to cut the umbilical cord off in terms of, you know, my financial stream, you know, my income, and rely on what I had. And
Was that
it was very
ever a
difficult.
worry to do that? To
Yeah,
go
yeah,
full-time?
definitely.
Yeah.
It was quite a big worry, and there were, you know, there was a point where it was kind of like getting to the bottom of the barrel, and it literally happened when we started doing membership on other platforms. You know, it sort of like broke even. I broke even every month, but then when the quality came along that YouTube could offer.
Yeah.
You know, just everything about it. It was just clean.
Right.
I think is the best way to describe it. It's just everything is clean on YouTube. You know, the everything you look at is just really sort of like, and everything you do on there, and the fact that you guys are sort of like approachable by what you're doing now in terms of, you know, trying to help. Potential live streamers or content generators, you know, because obviously you want that. You want to give them a platform.
Right.
And I would say to anybody who's doing any form of live streaming or any kind of content generation, there is literally only one stop, and that is the YouTube platform. I mean, I'm not just saying that.
No.
It is
the
true,
truth.
isn't it? Because it's everything is just so user friendly.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
that's an experience
Yeah.
I found as well.
Yeah.
actually.
And reliable as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
reliable, man.
The technical reliability.
So obviously you're flying here, there, and everywhere. But how do you recharge? How do you have a day off?
We're very fortunate, you know. I don't have a job where I've got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not saying I get up at 10 o'clock in the morning and, you know, I'm up a decent hour. I keep myself fit. You know, it's good to eat well. You know, in terms of adjusting back to time zones, it's just something that you sort of like you get used to if you travel as much as what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but it you know, look after yourself. And try to sort of like have a moment where you can chill out. For me, it's like bargain hunt or whatever, you know, or watching Coronation Street
Right.
or something like that, or just sitting there stroking the cat.
Yeah.
You know, for others it might be different things, but just give yourself a break. And try and relax away from it if you can. Although for me, my mind is always, Gilly's is the same, always on stuff.
Right.
You know, might get a random message, you know, have we thought about doing this? You know, but it's all very calm and, you know, relaxed.
Yeah.
So it's not an extremely high pressurized environment.
Jilly, from your perspective, you spend a lot of time, you know, in the studio managing the stream.
Yeah.
How about you? How do you manage, you know, your time, your well-being, making sure you get breaks while Jerry's
Yeah.
out there doing the most
Cats.
crazy stuff?
The
Cats.
cats.
Cats and true crime.
Oh, yeah.
And football. No. Yeah, I kind of like run on Jerry's schedule. You know, like I feel like but I've got free time as well.
Yeah.
And when I do that, I'm very aware that I need to always be fresh for the next time. Sleep, eat well.
Recharge.
Yeah, recharge. Try and get some exercise. Doesn't happen very often, unfortunately. Yeah. But I really enjoy what I do. And because apart from when we're live, on other days, I can actually manage a lot of what I do on my phone.
Yeah.
So that gives you a lot of freedom. You know, like I go shopping, a bit of retail therapy.
It does give you freedom.
It
you're
does
right.
give you
but
freedom.
It also, you can be sucked in at any time because
Yes.
you can do it from anywhere. That's the
Yes.
problem that I've found sometimes.
Yes.
is
Right.
that Sometimes it's
Yeah,
hard
I
to
might
switch
call.
off.
I might send Gilly a message. Hey, listen. What about a flight to so and so next week? Oh, well, I'm in Sainsbury's at the moment. Yeah, no worries. Okay, fair enough. But the thing with Gilly is that, you know,
Never
again,
happens.
so honestly, so reliable, man. You know,
Yeah.
like Gilly and me, we just work on that sort of like, you know, we don't have any plan. We don't have any fixed plan. We make our
just as it
decisions on where we're going to go to literally days before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we've just booked Liège. You know, we
Yeah.
thought about San Fran because some members were like, you know, isn't it about time? Because it was just before COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah. Last
Crazy
show
times.
before COVID was
Yeah,
San
yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah.
That's another thing in
Yeah.
terms of like keeping your audience there.
Yeah, there
we
was a
could have
lot of
lost
thought.
thousands and thousands of members during COVID, but I went live every
Every single day.
during lockdown.
All day,
Wow.
every day.
Having
during the lockdown.
you know, an intro with me at the desk, you know, a bit of fun, bit of news, bit of ranting about, you know,
Lots of ranting.
virus and all that kind of stuff. You know, Gilly was there, but the thing is that if it hadn't have been for that, I would have been climbing
it got
the walls.
it got us all
And-
through
and-
it
and
together.
we got
It kind
through it
of
together.
unified
Yeah,
us as a
yeah,
community.
So more people joined
is
because
really
they
good.
appreciated and respected
Yeah.
the fact that we. Did
And what we
did.
do now compared to that seems so easy because that was hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
That
day,
was
man.
hard
Every
work.
day.
Every day.
So we've been having a fantastic conversation, sharing a lot of knowledge, but of course now it's time to put that knowledge to the test with a quiz where we're going to be asked questions not only about each of our own channels, but also about YouTube overall.
Right, let's give it our best shot. And today we have Khalook, Community Partner Manager at YouTube, acting as our quiz master. He's over on the quizmaster desk. Let's give him a wave. Hello.
This is your captain speaking. We are starting this quiz, and hopefully the questions will land and it will be a safe flight without turbulence.
Nice.
Cabin crew, get ready for cross-check. Okay, so question 1. And this is about your channel, Jerry and Gilly, but everyone answers. Big Jet TV has posted 48 shorts. How many thumbnails show the complete nose of an airplane?
Oh, no discussions. No discussions.
You said it was out 48 shorts, right?
48 shorts.
Okay.
Complete nose.
Okay. Are we all locked in?
My answer.
I changed mine as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to call out randomly.
Okay.
Okay, Jerry.
23.
23. Simi?
I went safe and I just went right down the middle and said 24.
24. Okay. Gilly?
18.
18. And Hannah?
29.
29. Gilly, this one's for you.
Wow.
The answer is 17. So you're the closest.
It was so close.
Hey, fair play.
Good job. Okay, next question. True or false? And this is about channel memberships.
Okay.
There is an option for creators to schedule and allow members to watch videos before they become public. True or false? Gilly, I like how you turned away from that.
I know.
Can you repeat that? Just,
Yes,
is it
absolutely.
live videos or?
No. There's an option for creators to schedule and allow paying members to watch videos before they become public. True or false?
I'm not looking at yours, Gilly. I'm trying not to look. Let's just see whether I'm right, whether I've been listening to you after all these years.
Okay, let's start with Hannah this time. Hannah?
I've gone true.
True. Okay. Simi?
I've gone true because as of recently, I just noticed that being a thing available.
Okay. And can we have a double reveal?
I've also said true.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, it is true.
Awesome.
So,
I might have got fired after that one.
so with memberships, actually, creators can give channel members early access. So, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of a reward that you want to give your paying fans and paying members in order to be able to showcase that. And I'm pretty sure that if you're involved with memberships, you've done it before, correct?
Yeah, I used to do it manually, so I'd have it be for members and manually make it public. So now it just makes it easier.
Okay.
I remember, you know that send feedback button that no one presses? I pressed that button and I asked for that to be a thing.
Okay. So now we're going to go on to the next channel question. This one's targeted at Hannah.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. Hannah's most watched video, 10 easy hairstyles for short hair, has 24 million views. Wow. How many views does the follow-up video have? 10 easy hairstyles for long hair.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's what a
Got to be
question.
kind
I
here,
feel
haven't
like you're ratting me out here. With
No.
I know it wasn't as popular. I know.
You're giving a
you?
hint?
Thanks for the hint. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, that is a hint. Oh, how many views? I couldn't even guess that.
So the first one had 24 million views. And that was for short hair. What about long hair?
Okay.
I don't want to overshoot it. Oh, gosh. I'd rather go lower than higher for this one.
Okay, and for this one, I will go by hair length.
Lowest to longest or what? Which?
Shortest to
Oh,
longest. Jerry,
15 million.
15 million. Okay, interesting.
Oh, so me
Jimmy,
now.
yeah?
Okay, right.
Well, obviously.
I went with 3 million just because I don't think people who watch a short hair length video will then immediately go on to watch a long hair length video because their hair didn't grow in the watch time of the video.
That's great logic.
That's like an analytical, different audience answer.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
we'll
I feel
take
like
that.
There'd be
Yeah.
more competition for long hair length hairstyles.
Okay.
You put a lot of thought into that.
I did.
Jilly?
I actually went with the same theory.
Wow.
Oh,
Million.
wow.
Wow.
Oh, man. Why did I put a 1 in front of
Yeah.
that? Hey, you know?
Okay, Hannah?
I actually put 1 million because I don't remember, but I do remember thinking, oh, that didn't go as well.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
But by a very short point here because it's 1.4 million.
How?
So you're all very close.
Yeah.
I was a mile out. Way off the centre line.
They're only 14 million out, Jerry. Don't worry about it. That's
I'm
not
trying
much.
to be nice.
What's a million between friends?
And a million anyway. It's flipping good
I
anyway.
mean,
isn't
it is.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, but I'm
You beat us. We
cut the hair off again. We're going for take 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Question number 4. This year, YouTube announced 3 Gen AI features that they will launch on the platform. Can you name all 3?
So that's generative AI, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The hint is it was on the Made on YouTube launch.
AI.
That's difficult.
If you can't name all 3, how about
Got to name 3 of
3
them.
together?
Simi, you're too good at this.
I'm not
I
laughing
don't quite
'cause I know.
understand the question.
No.
I've got
If
no
there is, we
idea.
haven't used it.
No, I've got no
What's that
clue.
then? Is that maybe...
I don't have strength in my answer, guys. I'm not going to lie. I don't think
I've got no answer because I don't even understand the question.
You want me
They
to
launched
repeat?
what? Sorry,
Sorry?
what did they launch?
Generative AI product.
Generative AI.
Yes.
products. Okay.
Simi, I've just seen your board, but I'm going to really restrain myself and not copy your answer. I'm going to stick with my own.
Have you written 3 down, Simi?
I've written 3, but I don't know if
Bang
they're
out of order.
correct.
I can't even get 1.
No, I it's right there now. Now,
Shall I give you a hint?
yeah,
Yes.
just a tip
2 of them
because
start with the word dream.
I do know that.
Dream lifter.
that's all I think. Dreamliner, Dreamlifter. It's not that, obviously.
Didn't help.
You went to the planes.
Clearly, you haven't paid attention on this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
We've
missed
been
this
missing out on
lesson.
something, haven't we?
Missed this day of school.
Yeah, I think I was...
Absolutely.
Did
no
you phone
clue.
in ill for me on that day?
Phone a friend.
Is it okay if you just describe what it does rather than saying the exact name?
Just, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
But you know what? It's a bit difficult, this one, maybe, so we can work collectively.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, maybe
Working
if
together.
Simi gives one of his answers, then we can maybe build on that.
Yeah, we'll go around.
So we can get an idea of what the hell's going on
Okay.
anyway.
Alright.
Simi, go.
All right, so I said Dream Screen, which is the green screen filter where you type in text and it generates an image for you to have in the background of a short, for example.
Yeah?
Title suggestions, where
Okay.
it will give you a suggested title for the video.
Yeah?
And summarize video, but that's not for creators, that's more for viewers,
Yeah.
where it will summarize what's in a video. I
Yeah.
don't know how many of these fit into the
Okay.
answer of your question.
We can keep going and I'll summarize in the end.
Right.
Okay. I also had dream screen after your
Yeah?
hint. And I put video ideas. Is that a thing?
Yeah, so you're both kind of touching the second one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So title suggestions, video ideas, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
similar
this
to the
is
second.
studio stuff, isn't it? Studio
Yeah.
related stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see, we've only just started doing that, so and we made it up as we went along,
Right.
Yeah.
which we've done a pretty good job of. I have to say, blagging it. So yeah, there you go.
Hey, you listened. You're
I
dreaming
don't know.
about it.
You're dreaming
Yeah,
about
but
it.
no,
that's
it's
true.
interesting. Dream screen. We'll have to.
Yeah, but we don't do shorts. It doesn't apply.
No.
It doesn't apply to us. That's why.
No.
Right.
Fair.
What did you
Because-
write, Gilly? Is that's
That's what I want YouTube
Gilly-
to come
Gilly
out with
Walk.
next.
Gilly Walk.
Okay, so the 3 were Dream Screen, Dream Track,
Oh.
and AI Insights, which is the one that you were touching on.
Okay,
right? So the
right.
one we didn't cover was Dream Track,
Track.
where we've partnered with selective artists, and you can give specific prompts, and the artist will sing songs under a minute based on that prompt.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Wait, is that AI?
That's AI generated.
Should do that with me, Gilly.
Is this all mobile based? The mobile app?
So the Dream Track and the Dream Screen, yes. The AI Insights is studio based.
Right, okay. The
And that
AI
will give
insights,
you-
that excites me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a look at it for tomorrow's show. No?
What?
I don't know. No, you think
Okay,
you said
no,
something
no, no,
about, you know,
Okay, listen,
singing.
Jerry, if you will let me do shorts again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
this applies.
Okay.
The reason I didn't know about it is because he didn't want to do any more shorts. So,
This is how content strategy happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next question is a channel question. So for Simi, your channel. In the video, responding to unpopular opinions. How many unpopular opinions did Simi respond to?
That is a deep cut. That video
Is that in percentage or?
No, number of.
No, how many?
So it's a video where
Unpopular
people sent me their unpopular opinions and I just responded to them. Damn, you went deep into my... Okay.
The writers.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's a hint. Simi's very likable. So. Hannah, as his
Okay.
co-host.
I've gone 15 unpopular
15.
opinions.
Okay. Interesting.
But I'm doubting. I think it might be more because of the length of Simi's videos.
Right. They're too long.
Not too long.
Okay.
Well, I mean, now we can't change our answers. If I remember correctly, that video is about 12 minutes long. That's not a super
Oh,
long video.
okay.
If I remember
blown it.
correctly.
Right.
Yes.
You've definitely blown
Maybe
it.
too many then.
Once again.
Jerry.
He's going to hate me. I'm definitely off his Christmas card. 100%. I've gone 40.
40.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
that's
man.
better.
I don't know if it's based on like thousands and thousands and thousands of comments.
Right.
And you've only
Yeah.
got 40 out of all those thousands of comments. You know?
That's
Yeah. And I went 30.
30. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I was actually really close to Hannah. I said 16.
On the money.
It was
On the money. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's very good.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
Wow.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
No problem.
How do you feel like responding to comments that are maybe negative and
I mean, it was
Maybe that's
really
a question for
interesting
everyone.
because that video in particular was actually inspired by another creator called Anthony Fantano who does Let's Argue, and his viewers send him just unpopular or hot takes about the music industry, and I just wanted to do it but make it a bit more general. What are your hot takes about anything? And so it was quite fun being able to argue but in a playful way with my viewers, and obviously I was asking my viewers, so it was always going to be nice and
Yeah.
friendly, nothing too deep.
okay?
Yeah.
Any other opinions on?
Yeah, I'm
So
not
what?
so
How do you
sure.
know those? How do you know when you've got them?
When you've got like a hot
The
take
thumbs
or-
downs or the thumbs up? Is it what
Oh.
negative? The negative feedback.
Well, I just asked them. So there's no real way for me to tell, how many people are really disagreeing with this to know it's unpopular. So I was just kind of going from like, I guess that's an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I think someone said banana ketchup is better than tomato ketchup, and I didn't even know banana ketchup was a thing. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll discuss that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Trying to think about that.
That's disgusting.
Ketchup.
Sorry.
Not for me.
So where you could use that? Anyway, yes.
Okay.
Ice cream.
So this is our final question. And before we land, we haven't had a meal. So it's an ABC. We have chicken, vegetarian, or fish.
Oh,
He flies a lot. This
there's
fella,
not
doesn't
even
he?
the same
Eh?
category of things.
No. That's not the question.
Right. Never get the
That's
fish.
definitely up the front of the posh seats. And all that. You don't get a packet of peanuts and a bottle of water, which is about that big as well. By the way. You know.
So the question is A, B, or C. If your audience would like to show appreciation to you using super thanks, where on YouTube can they do this? A, live stream only. B, VOD and shorts. Or C, all the above.
You did say super thanks.
I did say super thanks. So everyone's locked in.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to start with Simi.
All right, so I went with B. I was tempted to go with C, but upon thinking about it, I thought B was actually the right answer because I'm not sure if they appear on VODs. So B.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm doubting myself now, but I've put C. The fact that Simi thought about it though makes me feel a little bit more confident, but
Jerry.
I've gone with post-production, B, because we, as far as I know, we only have Super Chat and gifting membership during live. But I know that I've heard of
Super thanks.
Super Thanks during post,
Okay.
which is why we went for what we've got.
B.
B.
Super chat and super sticker live. Super thanks on shorts and post.
Absolutely. And the bees win. So yeah, it's, you have it
I am
on
up
live
for
like Gilly mentioned. You don't have the super thanks that comes in post. You have the super chat and then gifting memberships. So yeah. And we actually added the super thanks to shorts recently, I think in the later half of last year. So you're able to, reward creators based on their shorts, and you can like pick the specific amount, and it's a nice way of, showing appreciation and adding a new monetization piece.
Right.
So
well done, guys. Well
thank
done.
you
I won't
for
be
flying with me,
It's fine.
and thank you for joining the quiz, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks
Take
for
care.
joining us.
Skipper.
So we're almost at the end of our discussion, but before we go, Jerry and Gilly, I wanted to ask, we started this with one of your earlier videos. What would you say to the Jerry and Gilly that were working on that video, as well as if you were to start again from zero and without the community you've built, how would you build yourselves back up now?
Oh, if I was to if I was to go back in time, I would say look after your followers, your subscribers, and eventually create a decent community that want to come with you on that journey and enjoy it, and who are potentially prepared to pay for it.
Personally, I'd just say have a little bit more belief in your abilities and don't worry so much, and just enjoy it because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's great advice all round for any creator, whether you're into live streaming, shorts, long form, that applies to everyone. So thank you very much, guys. It's been
Thank you.
genuinely so interesting talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to learn more about what we've been talking about with Jerry and Gilly, then please check out the description where you'll find some resources. And while you're down there, be sure to click like and subscribe.
Thank you, everyone, for following this episode of Making It. We hope you enjoyed it just as much as we did.